Hi, everybody. Welcome to Visual Communication and Media. I'm so excited to have y'all here. And welcome. I know everyone is real excited to take this course and really trying to figure out, well, what is visual communication in the media? I mean, I already kind of know how to communicate visually, so I mean, does this really matter? But, surprisingly enough, a lot of people don't realize this, but visual communication is everywhere. And when we take a look at it, it may not seem like it's much because we already kind of know how to communicate visually on a basic level. However, there's a lot more to it. And we can really come to understand people a little bit more if we just take a little bit more time in understanding what is that message that people are trying to show us. And I'm not just talking about how people speak to you in audio. I'm talking about visual cues, different styles of design, and different ways things are built together to communicate something to a person or a user or a viewer of some type. And then there's like a hidden message between that. And there's something to that. So visual communication plays a lot to where how layout, shapes, color, lines, are formed into something to where people can communicate without having to worry about speaking. And this is really important. And you may not think this may be important, but it is. And it comes down to it because if you're a nurse, sometimes you may have to build a chart system for other nurses to use, and they have to figure out where do they put this information for charts. If you're a game designer like myself or a game project manager, we use visuals all the time, especially with user interfaces where we see colors to identify if somebody gets hit, or we use different colors to identify different bonuses or power-ups and have them glow with different effects. We use visuals all the time to showcase that. Movies, advertisements, they highlight product placement where it's like you see the product right in the middle of everything, where that's what you see, and that's what drives financing the movie is a lot of times. And then there's that. You also have different ways where social media, a lot of different elements, there's so many different ways we communicate nowadays, and it's crucial to know this, especially in an information overload of a world that we live in. And it's kind of hard to determine what we know is truthful and what is not. And this class will help you out with that. You may not feel like it may not seem much, but I promise you there's going to be a lot of cool things. Yes, it's going to be a lot of written papers, but we're going to have a lot of debates. We're going to have a lot of videos. We're going to take a look at a lot of different methods of analyzing visual images and how they come apart to what the purpose is behind them. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of open debates and discussions in this course, and I really like that element of it, and that's going to be huge. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be great, and yeah, you're going to see a lot of me. So for 5.5, 6 weeks. So haha. Anyway, so yeah, let's get into it a little bit. Going to be great here. So let's get there real quick. So yeah, let's get into it a little bit. Let's take a look at everything, and let's see what this class is all about. You guys ready? Let's do it. All right, let's go. So yeah, just a little bit of background on me. My name is Adam Mrozeski. You don't have to worry about saying my last name. You don't have to worry about saying Professor Mrozeski unless you're doing like the paper for APA formatting. That's fine. However, you just call me Adam. We're adults here. You can contact me, how it is, and we can talk straight. But just a little background about myself. I originally, when I first got out of high school, I'm originally from Houston, Texas, a little bit north, actually, a small town called Spring. Now it's been involved, and it's like been like amoeba into Houston now. So that's where originally I'm from. I was born in in the 80s. Yeah, bounced around a lot. Big fan of a lot of early like small video games, like Nintendo, Super Nintendo. I was a Zelda fan when I was growing up. My dad got me into it. Also big fan of Transformers, Star Wars. I mean, as you can see right here behind my collection, I mean, I got a ton of Legos. That doesn't really show you. Like there's Legos everywhere. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Star Wars, Transformers, Teenage Mutant Turtles, a lot of like pop culture stuff back in the day, and still am today. So hopefully my son gets to it. So yeah, I have a family. I have a beautiful fiance, a 16-year-old daughter, and a just new 3-month-old son. So yeah, a lot of cool things. But yeah, I was big into sports too. So I was a big ice hockey guy. I was a roller goalie in Texas, and then I went to Penn State for mechanical engineering and got my associate's degree there. But I also got on, and I was a walk-on on the ice hockey team for the Division III, and I played my way up to Division I, but then I tore my knees out back in 2004. So yeah, that stopped that dream. But It's okay. It kind of was meant for other things, so it's fine. I still play hockey, but I just play like in adult leagues. Not the speed I used to, but I could still hang with some people. Just a little overweight now. It's my fault. Other than that, yeah, been a competitive gamer. That's I kind of left Penn State, and then I started sort of all sorts of odd jobs. I worked in the airlines for a while. This company called Continental before they got taken up by United. I used to bring in planes all the time. I was like ground supervisor and worked with HR and worked with my dad with a lot of like ground contracts with his company World Service. But then I was a big competitive gamer during this time. Like on my side, I used to do like Battlefront 2, multiple MMOs. And I'm talking about Star Wars Battlefront from like LucasArts, not the crappy one from DICE and EA. Um, and then there's Gran Turismo. I was a big Gran Turismo. I had my own driving set. That was like the biggest competition game I was into. Me and my brother used to do endurance races. However, yeah, I was big MMOs to World of Warcraft, Lord of the Rings, but I got more interested in like competitive gaming wasn't like a big thing at the time, and it was starting to get big. But by the time that it was going to be like really awesome, I think I'd be too old for that. I think at that point, and also just things would develop. So I was more interested in like building games and really creating like awesome stories with cool gameplay mechanics. That's what I was into. That's why I like Zelda and Final Fantasy. And I went to UCF in Full Sail, got my bachelor's in entertainment business, and got my master's in game design and project management. And I worked for a whole bunch of companies. I worked for GP Games. I worked for Activision early with like Hearthstone. I was only like a 2-month gig, but then I spent most of my time at EA after that. I was at Battlefield. I moved to Ears, worked on and that's Ears is an EA Redwood Shores. That's what we used to call it all the time. I worked on The Sims, worked on a couple things over there, a lot of mobile stuff, and then flew up to Burnaby in Vancouver for a little while. Worked on FIFA, NHL, Need for Speed. I got to touch Dragon Age for a little bit in the tutorials, so that was a lot of fun. And then I worked for Madden and NBA and Tiger Woods and what was a couple other games too. UFC, that was another thing at Madden in Orlando for a while, and then after that I worked for Universal for a little bit as a grounds like an operations supervisor whilst doing some consultant work, and started teaching at Rasmussen. That was like 7-8 years ago. And now I left Universal, and I am currently at a company called Wason. We do VR technology and also software design for mobile development games. And yeah, I'm their VR project manager. So I run projects for VR. I'm trained in agile and lean methodologies and know a bunch of user experience design techniques. And that's pretty much me. But I teach and also do some consultant work on the side. So a lot of cool stuff. Play hockey on the side. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I like having fun, but also like getting some stuff done. That's really the deal. So yeah, worked on a ton of games. Worked 40 games over my years. So yeah, I think the best one out of all of them was NCAA. Loved NCAA. But yeah, a lot of stuff to get through. Let's get through it. I could talk about if you guys, if anybody wants to talk about like getting in the game industry or have any questions about that, let me know. I got like 12 years in the industry, so good time. All right, so let's get into it a little bit. So there's 3 types of assignments. There's discussions, written assignments, and course projects. So we'll go over what's in them in a minute. But your initial posts are always going to be due Tuesday, except for week 1 for your discussions. That's going to be due on Saturday. So just keep that in mind. Like you don't need to turn your discussion post on Tuesday because you're obviously not going to be in class. It'll be for week 1. It's going to be Saturday. But don't automatically think that that due date's going to be the exact same for week 1. You're also going to have your due date for your initial post on Tuesdays from now on. So it's always going to be Tuesdays from week 2 through 6. Week 1, Saturday. That's it. So make sure you turn in your initial post by Tuesday every week. That's really important. Reply posts are always Saturday, and last day is going to be on June 17th, which is a Friday. So for that last week, your reply posts are always going to be due on that Friday, not that Saturday. So just keep that in mind. Written assignments, they're always going to be due on Sunday. That's correct, except for that last week. That'll be due on Friday. And course projects are always going to be on weeks 4 and 5. Those are going to be due on Sundays, so keep that in mind. Sweet. All right, let's move on. It's funny. I think PowerPoint's like glitching on me. Or maybe it's my mouse. I don't know. So what are lectures? So lectures are pretty important. That's another thing that we have going on. We have live lectures. They're always going to be on Tuesday each week, except for Thursday. Week one. Week one's going to be on Thursday because we don't have a Tuesday for week one, so we will have a lecture on Thursday. They're always going to be not at that time. That's incorrect. So we're going to fix that live real quick. So hang on a sec. I made an error. This is not correct. So no matter what, at what time, if my computer would stop acting really slow, that would be great. There we go. There we go. That's the right one. Cool. That's the right one. So let's try this again. Because, you know, your teacher totally messed up. So I'm pretty honest with myself. So, yes, lectures are always going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. That's a thing. So keep that in mind. So no matter what on Thursday or if it's on Tuesday, it's always going to be at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Week one will be Thursday. Every other week will be Tuesday. If you miss a lecture, don't feel bad because I will have recordings. They'll pop up within 24 hours on the next day. All right. So they'll be up there. And another thing is we have lecture assignments. So how do you record lecture assignments? So I will show you how to record lectures on the first lecture on Thursday. That's really important. However, there's a live lecture assignment. You'll always have that every week. This is something that I take like out of everything else, like really strictly a little bit, is the fact that this is tied to your attendance. So if you do not do your live lecture assignment by that Sunday of each week, it's going to be a 0. So automatically. And that tells me who was here for the week and who wasn't right off the bat. So please make sure you do your live lecture assignments. There is no excuse. There is no late points on this. It is either pass or fail. So please make sure you do your live lecture assignment every week. And I will tell you how to do your live lectures in lecture this week. So keep that in mind. So show up to lecture. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to have you here. That's going to be great. Yeah. So I'll teach you how to do that. Just make sure you do them each week by the end of the week. So that's all we're going to do Sunday. That's the thing. Now we also have course project and written assignments. Written assignments are always due on Sunday. I'll send out those rubrics, but I'll go over the assignments each week in lecture. That's another thing to show up to lecture is the fact that like I'll show you how to do this stuff. That way you kind of know what's going on. Because I don't think it's fair online. You read an assignment and then you kind of interpret it the way you read it, but sometimes it's not what the teacher is trying to implement. I'm going to physically show you what I want out of this thing. It's your job to interpret how I get that. So please make sure you check out the lectures each week. And the course project, same thing. We're going to have a big like 6-page paper during week 4 and 5. But we're going to do the outline in week 4, and then we're going to do the big paper on week 5. But it's going to talk about the different response types that we're going to go over through the lectures in this course, which is how visuals are built to trigger a sensory response, a perceptual, technical, emotional, and ethical. And it's going to be driven by a thesis statement. And I'll show you how to do that. It's all really going to come together really great. So cool. But other than that, just some class expectations. If you are late a day, it's going to be 10% of your grade. If you miss over 7 days, your grade's going to be a 0. So please make sure to contact me ahead of time or contact me as soon as you can so that we know I can help you out with that stuff. And that way we're ready to go. Another thing is too, we do a lot of like feedback on discussion posts and everything. So just be courteous and respectful, but be thorough. That's the big thing. I want you to be thorough, give detailed feedback. But don't just totally berate somebody. I want you to actually give constructive feedback where it is. So, but other than that, yeah, let's go over where your assignments and your discussions are going to be, and we'll go from there. So sweet. Let's do that real fast. So if you have any questions about your assignments or where they're going to be located at, they're all going to be here. You're going to see every week my rubrics are going to be posted on the announcements. So that way it'll be there. Go ahead and post for your discussions. I posted a little like introduction to myself in the course chat. You can see it right here. This is where you guys want to post about yourself, who you guys are, what you guys into. I'm cool with that. It'll be right there. But other than that, everything should be on the calendar. Everything's located, all the lectures, when they're going to be. Obviously, this first one will be Thursday. And then the weeks after that will be Tuesday, and they'll be located right here. So that way it's good. So cool. Other than that, that's all I got. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Other than that, thanks for being amazing. I'll see everybody for lecture on Thursday, and have a great week. I'm excited to have y'all here. So let's talk about some cool visual stuff. And that's pretty much it. Have a good one, my friends. See you on Thursday. Bye-bye.